Church of Scientology so afraid of?
This is SPTV.
Good morning, everyone. I wanted to hop on here real quick to address some messages that I've been getting from second generation, third generation, and fourth generation. And I wanted to share some thoughts on speaking on toxic systems and speaking on, calling out systemic institutionalized corruption. And my thoughts were, when the one that never really spoke ever actually starts finding their voice, and now they get to talking, when you start talking about these corrupt systems, what gets projected back to us is, oh, you must be mad. You must have a grudge. You must have no forgiveness in your heart. First of all, look in the mirror. Second of all, ain't nobody mad. The truth is just the truth of the matter. And when you start speaking about stuff that you weren't able to speak on, people say, oh, you shouldn't speak about this, or you shouldn't say it like that. And we as the victims have been made to feel, since we were children, that we were the toxic ones. And you know what? There's nothing toxic about telling the truth. What is toxic is trying to pretend that all of these disgusting policies that L. Ron Hubbard wrote that dictate the toxicity don't exist. What is toxic is pretending that your very own family could not be your biggest haters, could not be weaponized against you and turned against you, being your haters. What is toxic is trying to pretend that blood is thicker than water, when it's not. Blood is just blood and water. None of that comes together. What is toxic is people trying to gaslight you and trying to make you feel like you have an issue, when the whole time we were the ones that were stuck dealing and reeling from all the dysfunction we were being forced to have to deal with. We were the ones that were keeping our mouth closed. We were the ones that were made to sign NDAs as minors. Imagine being an executive in one of those hotels that Monique Yingling runs, where they have normalized having minors that never went to school sign legally binding contracts. Apparently, it's very legal and very binding to sign contracts in Monique Yingling's hotels. Just ask the courts about their arbitration clause. Just ask the courts how they're out there pretending that arbitration is a thing, that we deserve it because we signed a contract. And we weren't toxic when we were keeping all their secrets. And we weren't toxic when we were following these NDAs, right? We weren't toxic then. We weren't toxic when they had horribly co opted us into partaking in all manner of disgusting abuse that they normalize for themselves. So none of that was toxic then. But the minute we open our mouth to state the truth, we get attacked. And that is something to highlight for everyone. I don't care who you are and what you think you are or what kind of title you were holding in that hotel that allowed you to have oversight, full oversight over unthinkable abuse. We have had to cut people off of our lives. And that has been the price of telling our truth. For a very long time, we were under the spell of betrayal blindness. You see, when you have been subjected to gaslighting 365 days a year, 24/7, you develop betrayal blindness. You no longer can see how you are being betrayed. You no longer can smell the smell of betrayal. They handicap every one last of your senses, and your intellect is weaponized against you. You know what? We are going to continue to speak on all the corruption, calling out all the corruption, all the enablers, and all the systems that are in place that are helping and facilitating what happened to us as children to continue to happen to more children. And this is a message for everyone that is confused. If you're over the age of 21 and you want to go sign up for Monique Yingling's hotel, we're not coming to stop you, convince you, or tell you to leave L. Ron Hubbard behind. That's the type of choice you get to make when you reach the age of maturity to be consenting and making those type of choices. Ain't no one coming to save adults from making bad choices, especially when the building is burning with kids that don't have the discernment and the capability to make choices that they're being told by this legal system that these choices were made by us, that we consented, and how dare we not follow all the BS and all the crisis management operation that Monique Yingling and the rest of her cohorts, utilizing their law degree to harm us, to entrap us, to make us feel that they know so much better and that they are willing to defend the utterly indefensible. So I think it's very important to make that point. And I think that if you're under the radar and you don't want to confront how you have been scammed, how you have been betrayed, how you have been used, how you have been commoditized, we understand why you feel that way. But just also understand that you are being purposely made to feel like something is wrong with you for disagreeing with systemic, institutionalized abuse of young souls at scale inside all of L. Ron Hubbard's, Monique Yingling, and the rest of those attorneys who decided that unindicted runaway felon L. Ron Hubbard was some sort of god. Enshrine him, protect him, and purport that this is all in an effort to have the Constitution of the United States allow people to believe whatever the hell they want. And once again, we are not here to save people that are over the age limit to make choices about their lives, including but not limited to renouncing all your rights at a hotel. Monique Yingling makes it clear that you will have nothing by the time you're done signing her little contracts that she puts in front of you. Because in case nobody knows what's on Monique Yingling's contracts, it's all CYA for that woman. It's all CYA to protect the source of where that woman cashes checks on the backs of innocent, defenseless minors. So instead of the media telling us that we deserved it, that it's all legal, and not having the ability to investigate their way out of a paper bag, we're pushing back on their fake, false narrative. And we're calling them out because they sure like to monetize on our pain. I'm going to leave you with that, guys. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday morning. And we will not stop talking, and we will not stop calling out the corruption until every last child is out of that hotel chain.